Most of Western Europe is a peninsula surrounded by the Arctic and Atlantic Oceans, the North Sea, and the Mediterranean Sea. The Western European peninsula is composed of the countries Portugal, Spain, France, Belgium, Luxembourg, the Netherlands, Denmark, Germany, Switzerland, Italy, Austria, Liechtenstein, Finland, Sweden, and Norway. The United Kingdom, Ireland, and Iceland are also Western European countries, even though they are separate from the peninsula's landmass. Greece is also part of Western Europe, even though it lies at the tip of the Balkan Peninsula. Greece has more than 2,000 islands, and it's bordered by the Ionian Sea, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Aegean Sea. Its capital city is Athens. Athens is considered the birthplace of Western civilization. Standing watch over Athens is the Acropolis. Pericles, a statesman in ancient Athens, was instructed by an oracle to transform the Acropolis into a city of temples. Oracles were priestesses believed to communicate the wishes of the Greek gods. The Acropolis became a showcase of colossal gilded buildings and huge bronze and marble statues. Now in ruins, the grandeur of these structures is still awe-inspiring. At the top of the Acropolis is the Parthenon. Completed in 432 BC, it is the largest Doric temple in Greece. Except for its wooden roof, it was built entirely of marble. Dedicated to the goddess Athena, the Parthenon housed a giant statue of her. Though the contributions of ancient Greece are well known, Athens remains on the world stage. As the capital of Greece and a center of Western European culture, Athens hosted the 2004 Olympic Games. The Netherlands, also known as Holland, is located in northwestern Europe. It is bordered by the North Sea to the north and west, Germany to the east, and Belgium to the south. The 16 million people who live in the Netherlands speak Dutch and Frisian. Belgium is bordered by Luxembourg to the southeast and France to the west and southwest. Belgium is one of the smallest countries in Europe, just about the size of the state of Maryland. Once part of the Netherlands, Belgium won its independence in 1830. Now it is one of Europe's most urbanized and densely populated nations. Belgium is home to over 10 million people who speak primarily Dutch and French. Twice the area of New Jersey, the Netherlands has 280 miles of coastline. This coastal expanse and its major rivers, including the Rhine, encouraged international trade and exploration throughout Dutch history. The city of Amsterdam is the capital of the Netherlands. In addition to being a major port and a center of the diamond cutting industry, Amsterdam is an artistic and historic center of Europe. Ethnically diverse, Amsterdam is home to more than 40 canals, which are flanked by streets and crossed by 400 bridges. Residents, visitors, and tourists alike travel its waterways in salon boats. Many old and picturesque houses line the canals. This one, on the Prinsengracht, is now a museum. But it was once the home of Anne Frank and her family. As Jews, the Franks hid inside during the Nazi occupation of the Netherlands during World War II. The family stayed in a secret annex from 1942 until August 4th, 1944, when the Nazis discovered them. Anne Frank's diary of her family's 2 years of hiding is a classic of literature. Most of the city's Jewish residents disappeared into Nazi concentration camps. Amsterdam is well known for political and social activism. So the city that is more than 700 years old is a living museum and a thriving modern metropolis.
Spain and Portugal make up the Iberian Peninsula, the region in the extreme southwest of Europe. Slightly more than twice the area of Oregon, Spain is bordered by the Atlantic Ocean to the northwest and the Bay of Biscay to the north, France to the northeast, Gibraltar to the south, the Mediterranean Sea to the south and southeast, and Portugal on the west. The Canary Islands, the Balearic Islands, and Ceuta and Melilla also are part of Spain. Spain's capital, Madrid, is located in the center of the country, which is home to more than 40 million people. Portugal is just smaller than the state of Indiana. The country is home to over 10 million people, most of whom speak Portuguese. Lisbon, Portugal's capital, is located on the westernmost point of continental Europe. Lisbon is a beautiful natural harbor. The city has a history extending back 2,000 years. During the 15th and 16th centuries, Portugal experienced a golden era of sea exploration, building Europe's first maritime empire by establishing colonies around the world. Lisbon was transformed into the opulent capital of a vast global empire. In 1755, a massive earthquake reduced the city to rubble. But some of its castles and former splendor are visible today. Every June, the streets of Lisbon burst alive with feasts in honor of popular saints. The Feast of St. Anthony, the patron saint of lovers, is a religious but fun-filled celebration. The night before the feast, celebrants enjoy a costume parade. Multicolored paper lanterns, streamers, and banners line the parade route. Bonfires glow and food is abundant. Grilled sardines are part of a popular meal. On the day of the feast, many couples marry. Traditionally, Town Hall sponsors the weddings of poor couples and provides a reception for them. Lisbon is a city that easily mixes past and present. So today, the heart of Portugal is one of Europe's most fascinating cities. Switzerland is located in Central Europe. It is bordered by France to the west, Germany to the north, Austria and Liechtenstein to the east, and Italy to the south. Switzerland is a small country, just a little larger than the state of West Virginia. Its physical geography is dominated by the Alps and Jura Mountains. Bern, the capital, is located in the west central region. The primary language in Bern is German, but most Swiss people speak other languages, including French, Italian, and English. They also speak the language of chocolate. Chocolate starts with the beans of the cacao tree. South American Indians first used the beans to make a bitter drink. Conquering Spaniards tried the drink, sweetened it with cinnamon and vanilla, and introduced it to Europe. François-Louis Callier opened a chocolate factory in Switzerland in 1819 and produced the first bar of chocolate. His factory is still in use today. In 1876, Daniel Peter, a Swiss candle maker and entrepreneur, and baby food manufacturer Henri Nestlé, invented milk chocolate, used today in most candy bars. The Swiss eat more chocolate per person than anyone else in the world. On average, 27 pounds a year. But the Swiss also export their chocolate to the rest of the world, making it an important part of their economy, in addition to its important place in Swiss history.
The Kingdom of Sweden is located in northern Europe on the eastern part of the Scandinavian peninsula. Sweden borders Norway, Finland, the Gulf of Bothnia, and the Baltic Sea, and is slightly larger than California. 2/3 of Sweden's land is mountainous. Because of this, most of Sweden's nearly 9 million people live in the low-lying southern third of the country. Stockholm is the largest city in Sweden. It's also the home of the national government. Although Sweden was a military power during the 17th century, it hasn't participated in a war in almost 200 years. This long period of peace has allowed Sweden to spend less on its military and more on helping the country and its people prosper. Sweden has developed a high-tech capitalist system that provides extensive welfare benefits to its people. As a result, Sweden has one of the highest standards of living in the world. But these benefits don't come cheaply. The government collects high taxes from its people and industries to pay for them. One of the industries that gives the Swedish government some of this much-needed tax money is forestry. About 65% of Sweden is covered by forest. It has so much wood that the timber industry can supply all of Sweden's needs and have enough left over to make forestry products one of Sweden's top exports. Because the country has been so stable and successful for so long, it hasn't needed to overexploit its natural resources to earn money. Unlike many other timber-producing countries, Sweden works hard to make sure its logging industry cuts down trees responsibly. Even 100 years ago, the government passed strict rules to make sure that too much of the forest was not cut down. Today, the forestry industry actually plants more trees than it cuts down. The Swedes see their forests as much more than a way to earn money. Sweden was the first country in all of Europe to create a national parks system back in 1909. The Swedes celebrate many nature-related festivals and holidays. And they participate in outdoor sports and activities all year round. The government even created a national hiking fitness test back in the 1930s. By the 1970s, hiking was so popular that more than 3 million Swedes had passed this voluntary timed test, just for the fun of it. The natural environment has always been important to the Swedish way of life. And the Swedes are trying to make sure they'll be able to keep it that way for generations to come.